A routine check turns into gunfire. He steals the patrol car and runs. Then he rams the cruiser head on, 103 miles an hour, and climbing. Spikes hit and the standoff begins. We open in Daytona Beach with what should be the most routine stop on the planet. A black Mercedes pulled over for nothing more than a covered plate. The deputy rolls up calm and casual, expecting paperwork and an excuse. Instead, the driver decides he has somewhere better to be, drops it into drive, and the easy traffic stop instantly becomes a chase. In a split second, the whole tone of the night flips. He thinks a head start buys him freedom, but he is boxed by traffic and burning every option he has. The Mercedes lunges back into the road, but this is not the wide open highway a runner needs. It is tight city streets crawling with patrol units. The deputy stays glued to the bumper while backup floods the grid, cutting off every turn before the driver can reach it. Lane by lane, the open road shrinks until there is simply nowhere left to point the car. They wedge him in between cruisers and stop traffic. Doors fly open, and the driver who tried to outrun a plate violation is pulled out and cuffed against the fender. No crash, no carnage, just a bad decision that ended fast. And that is why it lands at number 8 on our danger ranking. Down in Miami-Dade, a black BMW X5 turns a simple stop into a full-blown manhunt. 3 suspects pack the cabin and not one of them wants to be found. So the SUV bolts into a maze of quiet residential streets. The dashcam jolts as the X5 carves between parked cars and tight corners. Headlights sweeping across driveways and front lawns. Every blind turn in a neighborhood like this hides a kid, a dog, or a backing car. Three suspects, 1 fleeing SUV, and a residential grid that can turn deadly the second somebody steps outside. The BMW keeps slashing through the subdivision, but you cannot hide a 2-ton SUV on streets this narrow for long. Cornered by units flooding in from every avenue, The driver finally stands on the brakes, and all 3 doors swing open at once. The suspects scatter on foot, vaulting fences and ducking between houses, trying to disappear into backyards. Officers fan out. A perimeter snaps shut around the block, and one by one, the runners are flushed out of hiding and taken down. A chaotic foot bail through somebody's neighborhood, dangerous but bloodless. And that is why it lands at number 7 on our danger ranking. Atlanta gives us a black GMC Yukon that answers a stop with a dead sprint through a red light. The full-size SUV barrels into a busy intersection without lifting, gambling its whole escape on cross-traffic somehow not being there. The dashcam catches headlights closing fast from the side, and you already know this map does not work. A loaded intersection at speed is exactly where routine stops turn into wreckage. The Yukon never makes it clean. It slams into another vehicle in the middle of the intersection, the impact spinning both cars and scattering debris across the asphalt in a heartbeat. The SUV is barely... Now the numbers get scary. In Port Saint Lucie, a driver pushes past 103 miles an hour with patrol units fighting to keep him on screen. The dashcam strains as the car eats up road faster than the camera can focus. Every passing vehicle a blur he is daring fate to dodge. At triple digits, there is no margin, no reaction time, no second chance if anything moves. This is the speed where a traffic stop stops being a chase and becomes a countdown. Speed like that always collects, and it collects hard. The driver loses it and crashes, the car battered to a stop. Montgomery County, Ohio, and this one simmers before it explodes. A white Ford pickup leads a slow, grinding pursuit, the kind where the speed stays low, but the tension keeps climbing with every block. Officers pace impatiently, calling out his moves, waiting for a clean chance to end it without anyone getting hurt. But a calm crawl can flip in an instant, and you can feel the driver's patience running out faster than his fuel. Low speed lulls everyone into calm, right up until the driver decides to use the truck as a weapon. When the boxing units finally move in to pin the pickup, the driver makes the call that defines this whole list. He throws the truck into the side of an officer's cruiser, metal crunching as he tries to bull his way out of the trap. In that split second, a controlled low-speed stop becomes a violent assault on a patrol car, and the officers inside are suddenly in real danger. The units hold the line, swarm the pickup, and force the driver out before he can ram his way free again. Nobody was seriously hurt, but a suspect deliberately slamming a cruiser shows how fast a quiet stop turns deadly. And that is why it lands at number 4 on our danger ranking. In Thurston County, Washington, a white pickup refuses to give up easy, and the police pull out every tool they have. Dashcam follows the truck barreling down the highway as troopers set the trap ahead. Spike strips laid across the lanes and a grappler unit ready to reel him in. The driver runs straight into it, tires shredding on the spikes, the pickup dragging itself forward on rims. But a stopped truck does not mean a stopped suspect. The boo. The tired grappler coaxes it, but the man inside is not done fighting. The grappler snags the pickup and the spikes finish the job, grinding the truck to a halt on the shoulder. Then, the situation darkens fast because the driver throws his door open and footbails into the brush. And this is no longer a chase. It is an armed standoff. Officers hold position behind cover, weapons up, talking and waiting through a long, tense face-off where one wrong move sends everything sideways. Minute by minute, they tighten the perimeter, keep their distance, and refuse to rush a man who has already shown he won't stop. Eventually, the standoff breaks their way, and the suspect is taken without a shot fired, and that razor edge of a confrontation is why it lands at number 3 on our danger ranking. Our number 2 starts as quietly as any stop on this list. In Westminster, Colorado, an officer notices a car sitting wrong way in a turn lane and simply rolls up to check on it. No pursuit, no speed, just a routine welfare contact in the middle of an ordinary night. But the calm is a thin shell, and what is waiting inside that car is about to turn an everyday stop into the worst possible scenario in a single heartbeat. One moment, it is a courtesy check. The next, the night erupts, and there is no taking it back. As the officer approaches, the stop detonates into gunfire, and instantly everything changes. We stay serious here, because this is the nightmare every officer trains for and hopes never comes. The split second a parked car becomes a deadly threat. There is no chase to narrate, no speed to clock, just the brutal reality of how fast a wrong-way car in a turn lane can turn into shots fired. Officers respond and work to control the scene under fire, doing the job in the most dangerous conditions imaginable. It is a stark reminder that the slowest, simplest stop can be the most dangerous of all, and that is why it lands at number 2 on our danger ranking. Top of the list, Tehama County, California, and it begins with nothing more than a routine check. An officer makes contact, the kind of stop that happens 1,000 times a shift, and for a moment, it is completely ordinary. Then, the entire encounter detonates, the stop erupts into a shooting, and in the chaos, the suspect does the unthinkable. He takes the officer's own patrol car. Suddenly, the cruiser itself becomes the getaway vehicle, and the whole situation is spinning out of anyone's control. He seizes the patrol car itself, and now the police machine is the thing tearing down the road. We keep this serious because this is as bad as a traffic stop can get. The suspect floors the stolen cruiser and flees, but a man who just turned a routine check into gunfire is in no state to control a vehicle at speed. The patrol car loses its line, snaps sideways, and spins out into a violent crash that ends the run in twisted metal. A simple check spiraled into a shooting, a stolen police car, and a wreck. Every nightmare of this job stacked into one incident. Nothing else on this list combines that speed, that violence, and that sheer loss of control. And that is why it sits unchallenged at number 1 on our danger ranking. That was today's countdown, ranked by danger. 8 traffic stops that went horribly wrong. Split Sec drops a new breakdown every single day, so hit subscribe and ride along because you never know